Yo guys, what is going on? Insanity coming at you today. It's Friday, so it's time for another trip around the world for this week's vendor reset in the division for the week of June 9th, 2017. Let's go ahead and start things out over at the Special Blueprints vendor, where you're going to find two weapon blueprints I'd recommend picking up. The classic AK-47 and the classic M60 blueprints, both with pretty good base damage depending on how you roll it, and they always help you out when you're in a bind. When it comes to weapon attachments, go ahead and pick up the Omega Rifle Suppressor blueprint. This thing usually has a pretty good roll when it comes to DPS because you can get critical hit damage, critical hit chance, and headshot damage all in that little guy, which will add a nice boost to your weapons. Over at the Special Equipment vendor, you can find the M700 Carbon, 155 headshot damage, elevated, skilled, and hurried. Again, you can try and roll that out how you want to try and have a nice legendary sniper build. And towards the bottom, there's a prototype performance mod, 4% turret damage. Again, that's maxed out. Get that. The SR7 suppressor, critical hit damage, critical hit chance, accuracy, reduced threat. Get on that bad boy right now. Now, let's go ahead and head our way on up over into the base of operations upstairs. At the security wing, you're going to find yourself another weapon attachment. This time, it is the Pro Red Dot Sight. Critical hit damage, optimal range, and, of course, headshot damage. So why in the world not, right? I mean, that's something else that can go ahead and give you some pretty decent DPS on your weapons that you currently already have. Now, moving on over, we're going to be making our way to Dantes Run, where you're going to find yourself a max rolled prototype performance mod, 7.5%, ballistic shield health. Again, if you like running shields over in PvE, and everybody knows you need it for stolen signal anyway, pick this bad boy up, throw it on your shield, and you can definitely take some serious damage while running around in some of those tougher missions before 1.7 launches, where it could make things a little bit easier. Making our way over into the DZ checkpoints over at the East 64th Street checkpoint, we're going to be making our way on over to the mod vendor, where you're going to have a 7% support station duration mod that's definitely going to go ahead and help you out whenever you're doing critical events underground, or if you're trying to do things where you're trying to use Reclaimer to keep your friends and teammates alive. That would definitely help you and everybody out. Our next stop is going to be over at the East 58th Street checkpoint, and here over at this gear vendor, we're going to find a specialized backpack rolled with 1224 electronics and 12,000 health. Again, this thing can be pretty much rolled however you want when it comes to the minor attribute, or you can go ahead and bump up the electronics to full capacity at 1272, depending on how you want to go ahead and create it for your specific build. Now, running on over to the East 34th Street, basically we're jumping all over the DZ right now. Here at the Dark Zone vendor, you're going to find a prototype firearms mod with 264 firearms and critical hit chance. Again, the mods all this week didn't have the greatest rolls. Everything seemed kind of low, so the fact that we're finding some stuff in 260 and higher, I'm going to go ahead and count that as a win. Next is going to be over at the West 42nd Street checkpoint, and here you can pick yourself up a prototype stamina mod with 262 stamina and, of course, health. Again, this is one of those situations where it's not perfect, but it's a pretty decent roll, so definitely go ahead and pick this up if you're in need of some stamina mods right now. So, where do we go from here? Our last and final stop is going to be in the middle of the Dark Zone at the DZ4 Safe Room. This is going to be our one and only safe house to visit inside of the Dark Zone. With that being said, at this gear mod vendor, you're going to find a prototype performance mod with max rolled pulse critical hit chance. So if you're needing a little bit of extra damage for not only yourself but your teammates, and the ability to highlight your enemies on the map and the playing field, this is your opportunity. Pick this little bad boy up because the 2% is always going to help. Alright guys, that's pretty much going to wrap everything up for this week's vendor reset. Like if you haven't, sub if you're new, turn on your mobile notifications so you know when I go live and content like this drops on my channel the moment it does. I love all of you, thank you for the support, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.